Mint! My Bebop moment was when Bebop was driving us to her house in Tuscaloosa, and we were playing the alphabet game because we were really bored. And we were on Q and we couldn't find anything that started with a Q. And then all of a sudden we drove by a sign for Quality Inn, a hotel, and Bebop said, "Look, Quality Inn!" And she started driving off the road. And then we were like, "You're driving off the road!" And she said, "Oh shoot!" And she drove back on the road.
My Bebop moment was when we were in the dollar store and we were looking for something, and we passed this sign, and the sign said, "Thank you for being you." And so she looked at it and she said, "Carly, thank you for being you." And then I turned around and I said, "Wait, that says thank you're for being you, not thank you for being you. The sign said thank you're for being you."
And what did she say?
And she said, "That proves that it was made in the dollar store."
My moment was when, she was on the phone with Aunt Madeline, and then she didn't hang up. And so she asked, "What do you want to have for dinner?" And then I said Subway, and I pointed to it, and she said, "Ew, Subway!" And then when I told her, she's like, "Oh shoot!" And she hung up the phone, and it was on the voicemail.
My Brenda moment is when Brad and I had been playing a lot of practical jokes, which we did frequently anyway, and we had been doing things like putting a rubber band around the sprayer on the sink so that when Mom came down to make coffee in the morning, she turned on the faucet and it came out of the sprayer directly and hit her in the face. And we had taken a tub of butter and emptied it all out, and then Brad carefully put it back in so that the lid was just barely balancing, so when she opened up the fridge, this whole tub of butter fell into her foot. And so she came in to wake us up one morning. She would usually come into our rooms and open up the curtains and sing, good morning, time to get up in the morning," all cheery and happy. And we were in high school, so who wants to hear that, right? So this particular morning she came in and she went into Brad's room first because his room was before mine, and all of a sudden I hear this screaming, no, watch out. And then she comes into my room and does that, and all of a sudden I get a smear of butter across the face. So she had taken a whole handful of butter and decided to get us back that particular day. So anyway, that's my Brenda moment.
My Brenda moment goes back to a road trip that we were on. I think we were in Germany at the time. Melissa and I were in the back seat of the car. Dad was driving, Mom was in the passenger side, and she had been regaling us with crossword puzzles and games and so on. And at some point, Melissa and I got so obnoxious and so loud that Mom spun around in the car seat and said, "Would y'all stop it? Y'all are acting like a couple of nerdy turds." Which of course made us laugh even harder, and 5 minutes later she denied ever having said it, and I think she denies it to this day. Don't you, Mom?
My Brenda moment was when Brad and I first started dating in 26, and Brad took me to see his family for Christmas, and we were having breakfast on this one morning, and one of us had this mug, and it said on the mug, "Love warms the heart." And then Brenda, you very dryly added, "and other places." And that was so funny, so we all burst out laughing. And yeah, I still remember that moment very fondly. And whenever I drink tea. So yeah, basically all I'm trying to say here is thanks for being such a great mother-in-law, and happy birthday.
The first thing I think of is when I was homesick from school as a kid. My mom would make this concoction called ginger juice, and I thought that it was this like magical cure-all, this fantastic special magic drink. As I got older, I found out that it was really just ginger ale and apple juice mixed together, so not that special, but she always took such good care of me when I was sick, and I thought ginger juice was like the coolest thing ever, and I just loved being homesick with her because she would always do these special things like that. St. Patrick's Day too, she always made really special, flipping the chairs in the house upside down and making us green eggs and ham, and yeah, it's just special stuff like that as a kid. And then in high school, maybe not like caring and nurturing in the conventional way, but I could not wake up for school in the morning to save my life, and my mom would do anything to get me out of bed and make sure I got there, even if it meant actually dumping water over my head to get me up. So that was pretty funny too. And then the most recent thing that comes to mind is when we gave Milo his first bath after he came home from the hospital. He decided to spray pee everywhere, all over our kitchen. And my mom, like without even thinking twice about it, just clamped her hand down over him and let him pee straight into her hand to stop the pee from getting all over our kitchen. So, lots of little things like that I think of when I think of my Brenda moment. Lots of special stuff. I love you, Mom.
My Brenda moment is one I would like to share with you. It happened about 47 and a half years ago, I think in the summer of 1967, after we just started dating. And I went home to your house for the first time to meet the family and others. And we were having supper one night, and as I tended to do, I like to lean back in chairs on the back two legs. And when I did that on this particular night, the back broke out of the chair. Needless to say, I was embarrassed, and I think Brenda was too, even though everybody laughed. Her mother indicated, that somebody else did that, and it had already been broken one time. Whether it had or not, I don't know, but they made me feel okay with it. And so we repaired the chair. The chair lived happily ever after, and so have we for the last 50 years as we just celebrated our 50th anniversary. And to my sweet, loving, wonderful, beautiful wife, I say, happy birthday. Love you. Bye.
Bebop moments!